All right, so straight head tube bikes are, especially dirt jumpers, are kind of becoming old school at this point, which means that forks with straight steers are kind of becoming a necessity, and yet at the same time they're kind of getting hard to find. Um, One of the things though is you can find a tapered fork pretty easily these days. The price is going to matter. You might have to find something used, or you might find something new because that's all that's available. But tapered forks are definitely becoming easier to get a hold of than straight steer forks. But a lot of us have these older dirt jumpers we love. The whole bike setup, and then something goes wrong with the fork. We want a lighter fork, we want a better fork. And the thing is, you got some options in the fact you can go, to something rigid like this, which is pretty easy to find in the straight steer tube. You might find an older fork. This is a Fox 36 with a straight steer tube. This is a Fox 32 with a straight steer tube, even though it's cut really short, so I can't use it. But you can put a tapered fork in a straight head tube given a few parameters. One is that the fork is a standard taper, 1 1/8 to 1 1/2. This crown area right here will measure 39.97 or 79 or something. It's just slightly under 40 millimeters. That's important to know because you can buy an adapter to put a tapered fork in a straight steer, given you have two measurements and they match the criteria. This has to be 40. So like I said, it's actually 39.79 or something, but 40 is close enough. The industry kind of knows that. They call it a 40. The other dimension that's really important is the inside of the head tube has to be 44. This one is a 42. It's a Campy integrated headset. You cannot find an adapter to put a tapered fork in a Campy integrated frame. I've talked to Chain Reaction. I've talked to West Coast Cyclery. I've talked to my local place. I've talked to Universal Cycles. Nobody makes one to adapt it to this. This head tube inside measures 41.8, 42 millimeters. You cannot find an adapter for a tapered fork. And you also cannot use the old standard headset steered tube where it measures 34. There's no adapter. Like actually the steer tube on the fork is too big to even fit in that head tube. So it does have to be one that measures internally 44 millimeters, which is pretty standard. This Specialized right here has an internal headset. It does measure 44 across. And then of course you got tapered head tubes that you can run tapered forks in because that's what they're made for. So to run tapered fork in a straight steer tube that actually measures 44, you can buy this. There's a couple companies. I think Core makes one. This is the Wolf Tooth one. What you'll do, this is just a lower headset. That's the lower crown that goes on the fork. That will fit on a tapered fork. It'll fit on that one right over there. Then this is the part of the headset that goes into your frame. And see where it says 44 right there? That means this is actually what they call a 44/40 lower headset. Now, if you order a headset complete, not just a lower, and it's 44/40, that doesn't mean you can fit a tapered in a straight head tube. That is what kind of headset fits in this. This is a 44/40 headset. Same with this bike, which means it fits a tapered fork in the bottom, in a tapered head tube. So you need to find just a lower cup or headset with a specific lower cup that measures 44 on the outside around here and then 40 on the race. And that is how you put a tapered fork in a straight steer tube bike, as long as it's a 44.